Mr. Litt, how would you describe Mikado's well-being when she came under your care?
Well, Mikado's physical needs were taken care of, but there's more to a cat than its physical condition. They're highly emotional creatures.
And were her emotional needs tended to?
Calls for speculation. He's not the cat whisperer. He can't testify to Mikado's thoughts, which you should have objected to.
Sorry, sir.
Very well. Mr. Litt, without speaking for Mikado, would you describe for the court her emotional condition?
When Mikado first entered my home, she was aloof and standoffish.
She's a cat. Sorry, I'll wait my turn.
She was listless, you know? Like, I would take her out to see a bird or a dog, and there'd just be nothing. You know what I think? I think that she was the victim of neglect due to the absence of a consistent father figure because he's traveling all the time.
I object.
To what?
To you letting him talk about my cat that way. You changed the rules to get Miss Zane. I'm changing the rules. I'm going to represent myself.
But
You're dismissed.
Getting hot in here, Nesbitt?
Mr. Litt, I'll ask you not to address the defendant directly.
I'm not the defendant. This isn't a criminal trial.
Well, it should be. Where were we?
You were describing the deplorable condition in which you found Mr. Nesbitt's cat.
Oh, yeah.
You have portrayed yourself as the kind-hearted savior of this feline soul. Is that correct?
Yeah. I believe I brought out the best in her.
So you have a way with your charges, a velvet glove, so to speak.
I guess you could say I'm built that way.
So you're a good parent, a role model.
No one could say otherwise.
So if one of your charges were to say you were hostile, cruel, prone to kicking the proverbial dog, would that be a lie?
My treatment of felines is what's of issue here.
I thought it was your parenting skills, your ability to mold and shape gently.
But that's not what
This jury knows all about your parenting skills, which involve berating, belittling, screaming, sadism.
Objection!
You can object all you like, but as I said, this jury knows that that man is not what he portrays himself to be.
And what about you? You think molding and shaping is accomplished by abandoning your charges and sending the occasional memo while you're off mudding in the Yangtze?
I'd like to call my next witness.
Oh, really? What witness? You didn't declare a witness.
He's a hostile witness, and I'm afraid he's hostile to you. I call Harold Gunderson to the stand.
Holy shit, we're in trouble.
We need a 10-minute recess.
Mr. Gunderson, you are currently an associate at Bratton Gould. At what firm did you previously work?
I worked here.
And who was your supervisor?
That man, Louis Litt.
Really, Harold?
Let the record show that Mr. Gunderson indicated Mr. Litt. Tell me about Mr. Litt's guidance.
Louis believes in teaching by fear.
Your Honor, I'd just like to state for the record that the witness is speaking into an imaginary microphone. You're speaking to an imaginary microphone.
That's what I mean.
You know what? Fine, I'm done. Proceed.
Would you characterize him as a screamer, a tyrant, petty and vindictive?
All of the above.
He didn't try to gently sculpt your future like blown glass.
He called me an idiot, an imbecile, and an embarrassment to the legal profession.
That sounds harsh.
My therapist says that I have scars on my psyche.
Hearsay.
I could call said therapist.
Oh, that'd be lovely, except it still has nothing to do with the cat.
Bear with me, I'm getting there. Tell me about Bruno.
He was Louis's cat. I was made to take care of him.
He didn't do it himself?
No.
Do you like cats, Harold?
No. I'm allergic. I don't even know what to do with them.
But he left this cat, his cat, in your care? What happened?
Hey, you know what? This would be a good time to object.
I can't, Louis. It's a valid line of questioning.
What happened, Mr. Gunderson?
He died a day later.
And what did he say to you prior to that day?
He said he might as well have left his cat with Michael Vick.
Mr. Gunderson, your tenure at this law firm wasn't very successful, was it?
I worked very hard.
Is it true that you once failed to deliver a motion to the court because you thought they were closed due to inclement weather?
Someone told me that it was a snow day.
Did you ever give opposing counsel a copy of our trial strategy?
I thought it was part of disclosure.
Did you leave a zero off the Hopkins settlement, nearly costing the client $900,000?
No one was supposed to know about that.
Because Lewis covered for you.
He berated me.
No, he kept it private. And he allowed you to go back and fix it, did he not?
He did,
Which allowed you to learn from your mistakes, did it not?
I guess.
You testified that you now work at Bratton Gould, is that correct?
Yes.
And when they hired you, did they know you'd been trained by Lewis Litt?
It came up.
So they knew that you were nurtured by Lewis, they hired you, and now, are you happy?
Yes.
So with Lewis's nurturance, your mistakes were covered, you landed another job, and you're happy. Isn't that correct?
But he was mean to me.
No, this isn't about how he treated you, Harold. This is about how he treated his cat. And isn't the truth that he loved that cat and cared for him with all of his heart? Harold, you're under oath.
No, I'm not.
Harold,
Yes, he loved Bruno with all of his heart.
I have no further questions.